Welcome back to the deep dive. We're plunging into, well, another really fascinating source today, and frankly, pretty mysterious.
Definitely mysterious this time.
Yeah, today we're looking at this image. It claims to show um, a reptilian-like alien creature
All right.
found supposedly in a cave
Mm-hmm.
in Vietnam, of all places.
Mm-hmm. And the source material itself is interesting. It's mostly from an audio leak, isn't it? From a YouTube channel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mission creep. It's been doing the rounds recently, along with all these claims and reports about the whole discovery.
Okay.
So our mission really is to try and unpack all of that, the reported details, the stories about this creature, the cave,
Yeah.
and just how difficult it seems to pin down the information itself.
Yeah.
Where do we even start with something like this? It feels pretty out there.
Well, with claims like these, especially involving leaks or remote places, the first thing is just to understand the story being told.
Right.
What's the narrative? We don't have to decide if it's true or not initially, just map out what's being claimed. And this one's a great example of how these phenomena stories get presented and kind of catch on, especially when they involve, hidden discoveries.
And it is a compelling story. The main thing is this photograph. It's really striking. Kind of freaky, actually.
Yeah.
Currently leaked, published just a few days ago by this Mission Creep YouTube channel. That's where it sort of kicked off.
Okay, Mission Creep. They're new, right?
Yeah, it seems so.
Right. The source material actually talks about that. It says Mission Creep is a brand new channel.
Okay.
Started by, quote, some really awesome dedicated researchers and friends. And their plan, apparently, is to post videos about, UFOs, aliens, but also other stuff.
Like what?
Like government cover-ups, military stuff, police state agendas, that kind of thing. Exposing hidden info seems to be their angle.
Okay, so that's their stated mission. That context is probably important.
It really is. It kind of highlights a pattern you see sometimes.
How so?
Well, if people feel like official sources are quiet or maybe even hiding things. Yeah.
Then these independent channels pop up, and they become the main way this kind of information spreads. It builds a community that, trusts these alternative narratives more.
Right. That makes sense. So, okay, back to the story. The source says before Mission Creep even launched, the team got in touch with someone privately.
A Vietnamese man.
Yeah. And this guy had posted online somewhere, like a message board, about this specific cave in Vietnam.
Okay.
And it wasn't just any cave. It was apparently already known for, how do they put it, confirmed alien or, quote, reptilian inquiry.
Confirmed inquiry. That phrasing is interesting, isn't it?
What do you mean?
It sort of suggests that the people involved, even before this photo leak, already had a framework for understanding this. A belief system, maybe?
Like they already expected to find something like this there.
Perhaps. Or at least they weren't starting from scratch.
Yeah.
The source mentions reports of abductions.
Right.
And witnesses claiming they saw, quote, reptilianic alien creatures deep inside the caves.
So confirmed inquiry might just mean there was already this cluster of stories, this existing narrative tied to that place. Unverified, sure, but consistent.
Okay, so the stories were already circulating before the photo emerged.
Seems like it, yeah.
And the photo itself. The origin story for that is also pretty strange. This Vietnamese man, the one they contacted.
The original discoverer.
Yeah, described as the original discoverer of the cave. He says he took some photos inside one of the caves.
Yeah.
But way back, like 1992 or 1993.
So decades ago. Not recent.
Right. Decades old.
And was he looking for aliens then?
Apparently not. The story is he was just, taking pictures in the cave, snapped a few shots.
Yeah.
It was only later, much later, he noticed something.
What?
In one of the photos. A face, quote, a distinct face gazing back at him from the darkness at the rear of this cave.
Whoa, so he didn't even see it at the time.
Doesn't sound like it, a retrospective discovery.
That adds another layer, doesn't it? The idea that this photo existed for years, maybe decades, before anyone noticed the face.
Yeah. What does that suggest?
Well, it speaks to how easily things might be missed, maybe, or maybe how narratives can kind of grow over time to include evidence that's reinterpreted later. It definitely makes verifying it harder, when the discovery itself is described as happening long after the event.
True. Okay, so what does the photo supposedly show? What's the description?
Well, according to the source, you can see the upper body, head, eyes, mouth, face.
The whole upper part.
Yeah, and the overall shape of this being.
And the description.
They say it looks definitely like a humanoid type thing or alien
Okay.
with a reptile type skin structure.
Reptile skin.
Yeah.
There it is. That connects back to the reptilian inquiry claims then.
Exactly. It fits neatly. And, you hear about reptilian aliens a lot in UFO stories and folklore. How does this specific description fit?
Well, it sounds pretty classic, actually. Humanoid shape, reptilian features.
Right. And the source then explicitly says this photo or this description links to other stories from people in Vietnam who also claim that they've seen these things.
Ah, so it reinforces the existing local stories.
Precisely. It suggests a pattern, at least within these reports. So even though the photo's presented as this unique thing,
Yeah.
the description itself isn't unique. It mirrors other claims from the area, which for believers would probably feel like, validation, proof of a shared experience.
Or maybe a shared cultural idea, I suppose.
Could be. It's hard to say from the outside.
What about the official reaction? Or lack of reaction? The source mentions that.
Right, that's a big part of the narrative, too. The claim is basically the government's not doing anything about it.
Ignoring it.
Or, quote, blatantly ignoring people who are making reports about this.
And that it's hard to get information out.
Yeah, the source says everyone's really tight-lipped over there, and that it's generally really hard to get reports out of certain countries.
And Vietnam is supposedly one of them.
Vietnam seems to be one of them, yeah.
Does the source say why the government would ignore or suppress this? Or is just assume they would?
It feels more like an assumption baked into the story,
Okay.
the kind of thing you'd expect to be covered up.
Yeah.
But the claims do get more serious than just inaction.
How so?
Well, the source asserts, apparently, a few years ago, one person was even abducted inside the cave, never to be seen again.
Abducted and vanished. Wow, okay. That's dark.
It is, and it escalates things significantly. Plus, there's this other sort of ambiguous claim
Yeah.
that it's been claimed that the government did send the military in.
The military went into the cave.
That's the claim, but then it adds, but we don't know much more information about that or what happened with that.
So a possible military operation, but no details. That just adds more mystery, doesn't it?
Exactly. It paints this picture of something potentially serious happening, maybe a cover-up, maybe worse. But it's all unconfirmed. Suggestion and implication.
Right. It's a chilling detail, though, the abduction part especially. Added a real sense of danger.
Definitely.
So, bringing it back to the listener,
Mm.
for you listening,
Mm.
the original source, Mission Creep, invited people to go look at the picture on their channel
Right.
and said they'd have more detail about where the cave is, who the guy is that captured the photo, and further detail onto the image.
Mm-hmm. Which really underscores the role of these channels, doesn't it?
How do you mean?
Well, this new channel pops up, shares the leak, and basically says, come to us for the real story.
Bypassing official channels.
Exactly. It highlights the specific way information flows now, especially for these kinds of unexplained things. It appeals directly to people who are curious and maybe distrustful of mainstream or official sources.
Yeah, I can see that. So what does it all mean for us trying to understand this?
Well, it raises big questions about how information or maybe misinformation travels, how stories get presented, especially when the official line is supposedly silence.
Right.
How much does that alleged silence shape the narrative itself?
Good question.
Yeah.
So that pretty much wraps up our deep dive into this Vietnamese cave reptilian mystery.
Quite a story.
It really is. We've got the photo, the description of the creature, these claims of abductions, government secrecy. It's definitely mysterious. The image and maybe even more so the stories around it.
It does leave you thinking, doesn't it? It raises this important question, I think.
What's that?
When you have these persistent stories, unusual encounters, people disappearing, government silence, all supposedly happening in these remote, hard-to-access places.
Yeah.
What does the fact that these detailed, though unverified narratives even exist tell us? Is it purely about a human need to explain the unknown?
Or something else.
Or something else? And how does the way information travels or doesn't travel shape how we perceive reality? What happens in society when these kinds of stories bubble up from the shadows? What are the implications?
Lots to think about there.